Had it not been Miami, would you maybe be taking the year off?
Probably. I probably would have. I knew a year from now this job wouldn't be open. And another reason why I got back into it was just the outpouring of former players over the last 30 years. When I left Georgia, and a lot of them just wanted to say how much I meant to them over their lifetime. And I was like, you know what, Lord, I guess you want me to keep coaching. So that was a big part of it too.
Coach, with that being said, and you have this new adventure, if you will, because at your stage in your career, you don't want to go somewhere where you can't win. You don't want to go somewhere where they don't have the resources to get the job done. But at the same time, you've been in one location for a long, long time, very rare in this era. So how rejuvenating has this move been for you and your family?
It's been great. A lot of it is just the newness of it. A lot of it is that I've decided to coach the quarterbacks again. I've decided to call the plays again. I've decided to be in the heart of the game planning of the offense. And that just brings my competitive juices out on a moment-by-moment, daily basis in practice. And I think it's healthy for the players to see that in me, and the coaches to see that in me, and even the fan base for that matter. So it's been great.
Well, as you referenced, you had gotten away from that a little bit the latter part. So what spurred this shift? Was it something you look back on yourself and say, hey?
No, I think I made the right decision to have Mike Bubbo call the plays. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, obviously current head coach at Colorado State right now. And he was ready for it. But I missed it, you know. And there's nothing like getting in that room and coaching those QBs and having those relationships and then going to compete with a bunch of guys, like I said, on a daily basis. It's great.
Coach, the landscape of college football has changed. It's impacted Miami to a certain degree. You know the history of the program well. You played there. But are there challenges that Miami faces in the present that maybe didn't exist or were minimized during the heyday of the program?
Well, I think one of the things that's happening is kids in the Tri-County area, and I'm talking about Dade County, Broward, Palm Beach County, South Florida area, I think more and more of them are going around to see the world, so to speak. There's buses leaving, there's people taking kids all over the place, and they're seeing things where maybe 20 years ago they didn't take those kind of trips very often. And they kind of knew Miami, and that was good. But I think the big thing is that for the players, their parents, their coaches, to all know that there's not one dream that they could actually realize anywhere else other than Miami. I mean, I guess the point I'm making is any dream you could possibly have, you can accomplish at the University of Miami now. And so there's no reason to leave. But the bottom line is, what is there, 120?
26, 25, yeah.
You know, maybe 150 Division I schools in the Tri-County area. So even if I get the best 20, there's 100 other great ones going all over the country. So that's just the way it is.
You got to make the right choices.
That's right.
You know, when you took this job, oftentimes when there's a coaching change in the profession, it's because of a lack of success or you got nowhere to go but up. But you inherit a very, very promising quarterback who's had a career. You've got some marquee players at some key positions, 2 pass rushers off the edge on defense. You explain to maybe all of us and our viewers, what type of situation did you walk into here player-wise?
Right. Well, there's some good players here and some good people here. I really don't know what to compare this talent base to the rest of the league. So I really don't know for sure what we got here. I think there's some depth issues in a couple spots that we got to clean up. But if everybody stays healthy, if we don't have a lot of attrition for whatever reason, we'll have a chance to compete well, I think.
What were your first impressions of Brad Kaya?
Just a great guy. He reminded me a lot of David Green, the guy I had at Georgia when I first went to Georgia. I inherited David Green. You know, Coach Don did a great job of recruiting him, but even-keeled, smart, accurate leader, a guy that just had charisma. Everybody wants to play for this guy, wants him to succeed, and I don't know. It's fun to coach him, I can tell you that.
What was it like for you to put together an entire staff for the first time in, 15 years?
It was fun. And, you know, when everybody comes in together, we're all kind of living through the same thing. Wives are back home holding down the fort. Maybe the kids are going through spring before they come in the summer. And so everybody's kind of living through the same thing at the same time, and it brings you together. And you know, I got to cherry pick the guys that I knew not only were great coaches and great people, but guys that would really buy into how I like to do things. And it's been a good fit.
To borrow from a phrase that's been oft repeated the last few days, what's the first step in making Miami great again?
Well, I think just doing things right. I think if Miami doesn't shoot itself in the foot, either off the field or even, Miami was one of the most penalized teams in America last year. Struggled in the red zone. There was just some things that if we just do things right and don't do things to hurt ourselves, I think there's a great chance to have success. And then once we get the ball rolling a little bit, I think people will say Miami's back. Like, they won't say, well, Miami's having a good year. They're going to say Miami's back. When you could say you're back when you've had the tradition of 5 national championships in the last 30 years.
Going back to calling the plays, getting involved, coaching the quarterbacks, oftentimes you hear about a head coach having to delegate when they choose not to be a part of the individual coaching aspect. But you're still having to do a lot of that when you're having to be in the quarterback room and be in the offensive meetings. How have you made that adjustment with your staff?
Well, I tell them, if I've got to motivate you, we got a problem. It's just like if I got to motivate a quarterback, I'm going to find another quarterback. If I got to motivate a staff member to do his job, I'll probably get another staff member. But I told him, I said, look, I'm going to coach. So you got to do your job, and I can't babysit you. Now, I'll find out what's going on sooner or later, and if there's issues with guys not getting their job done, then they just got to go find another place. But that's the beauty of, like you said, of being able to hire the right people.
Yeah.
These guys are busting their tails. I got full faith and confidence in them. And it's really been a lot of fun.
You've seen the video of Coach backflipping.
Oh, yeah.
It
didn't look like it was the first time he'd done it either.
You do this every year, don't you?
Yeah, I do it every year.
Yeah.
I started in Boca Raton, Florida as a teenager going off the Boca Raton Inlet Bridge.
Now, what we see on video, is that the first take or the only take?
Well, it was – I did do it twice, but the first take was really better than the second take. Usually I only do it once and that's it. But one of the players wanted to do it, and I was trying to show him how to do it on the second time, and he didn't land very well. But
well,
you got to give the people what they want, right?
You got to give them what they want.
We are all curious to see what kind of splash Miami can make. Coach Richt in his first season back at his alma mater, joining us here on ESPNU, part of ACC Media Days in Charlotte, North Carolina.